Hi everyone, happy rainy day today. And yeah, it is. It's one of those days, isn't it, when you kind of put your warm hoodie on and, just hunker down. I think it's even going to be worse tomorrow, having just looked at the weather forecast. But that doesn't stop us smiling, does it? Yesterday I was telling you about my 20 years of living with MDS and what happened in 2016 in October. So I'm nearly at 4 years now. I had my transplant, and when they looked on the registers to see if they could find someone for me, there was no one that was a complete 100% match. There were people that we could have gone with had there not been someone else, but they would not have been a 100% match. So then my little sister came forward and she was tested, and any sibling only has a 25% chance of matching. And fortunately, my little sister Gail was 100% match for me, and so she donated her stem cells. And that involves, most people think it's an operation, but it's not. They take it from your arm like an extended blood test, really. It's a bit like being connected to a kidney dialysis machine. It comes out of one arm, they separate off the stem cells, and then they put it back in the other arm. And you have to sit in the chair for about 5 hours, and sometimes if people don't produce quite enough cells, then they'll get them to come back a second day. And that's not too onerous a task for the donor. And even if it had been an onerous task, I know that my little sister would have gone through with it, because that's her, and she's just very generous and kind and loving. And I know my older sisters would have come forward and been tested had she not been a match, but she was, so that was good. So I had the transplant, and of course you have to have chemotherapy that knocks your bone marrow completely out, so that the graft, the donor's cells, can then graft themselves to your bone marrow. And obviously it makes you feel pretty rotten having that with all that chemo, but it's worth going through because it's your chance to get your life back. And what happens, like you're in hospital for about a month, more if things don't go quite right, and then you gradually build yourself up. And they say, like the first 6 months is really the worst. And what I thought was, if I give this process 6 months of my life, and then give another 6 months of recovery, so in total I've given a year. That's not a bad thing to do, to give a year to get my life back. Now, unfortunately for me, Gail's cells have been very good, and they've knocked out the cancer cells, but they've set up with me something what's called graft versus host disease. So Gail's cells not only are attacking my cancer cells and knocking them out of the picture, but they've attacked my healthy cells as well. And they set up inflammation and pain and problems. And that happens in my gut. I get lots of ulcers in my mouth. My eyes are very, very dry, so is my mouth. So I've had a lot of problem with my teeth. My skin is awful, as you can tell. It's very itchy, incredibly itchy. Like having red ants, hot fire ants crawling all over you. If anyone had told me an itch could be a medical problem, I'd have said on your bike, but it can. And my gut has just been terrible. My muscles and joints have been affected. So there's not really many things that haven't been affected. So that means even though I'm now 4 years on, my quality of life is in fact worse than pre-transplant. But I'm still here. Now, if I hadn't have gone ahead with the transplant, I wouldn't still be here. So it was worth it from that point of view, of course. And I'm still fighting to regain what I can of my quality of life. But that doesn't mean to say I don't make the best of what I've got. and I keep smiling. So this is me all over. So I used to travel quite extensively before the transplant, and haven't been able to since then because of insurance and stuff. But there was one occasion where we were on holiday in the Dominican Republic, and one of these tropical storms came over, and it was absolutely bucketing it down, bouncing off everything, yeah. But it was still very, very hot. And I said, right, I'm off, I'm going for a swim. And I got in the swimming pool and went for a swim in the rain, because I'd always wanted to feel what it was like to swim in the rain. And it was great. And that's what I say, you know, there's a phrase, a quote that I like. It's one of my most favourite quotes. And it was actually written by a man who died of cancer. And he says, I believe that suffering, when permeated by love, can have a transforming effect. So I say to the darkness, when I light a candle at midnight, I beg to differ. And I love that bit. When I light a candle at midnight, I say to the darkness, I beg to differ. And that's my attitude. I beg to differ, really. I will not be defined by my illness. I will not be defined by this long recovery. I am me. I am a unique human being in the same way as you are all unique human beings. And I will continue to always try and look on the bright side of life. Yesterday was 17 years since I was ordained into the Church of England. And that's just been an amazing privilege to work alongside so many people. And then today it's 2 years since I had my peg fitted. For those of you that don't know what pegs are, so that tube goes into my tummy, and because of my difficulty in absorbing things, I can have additional food through that. So there are all sorts of things under the skin, you know, under the clothes, and that you just don't see. But all of us with MDS and the treatment and the effects of treatment live with. But you just get on with it, and you just keep smiling. And like I said yesterday, you see someone without a smile, give them one of yours. So today, on a rainy day, I thought, what can I do? And then I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll do a song for the weather. So enjoy, people. Let's hope it works. Raindrops are falling on my head, and just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun, and I said I didn't like the way he got things done, sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know, the blues they send to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining. Because I'm free, nothing's worrying me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's it's not for me. Trust, I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. Hope you enjoyed that. Who knows what day 12 will bring, but whatever happens, have a happy night and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye for now.